Hey, good morning, everybody. You know, I remember those of you that are old enough to remember Desert Storm. I called it Desert Drizzle. It wasn't even a war. I mean, as soon as it kicked off, they just came and surrendered, and, it was over in the blink of an eye. They were, bad moments, of course. I remember I never really followed politics or war or anything like that. I thought, I was interested in the fighter jets and the tanks, and I thought, wow, look at how advanced we are technologically. I mean, these bunker busters, these bombs they can drop, and if you're hiding in a cave, it could suck the oxygen out of a cave system and suffocate the enemy hiding inside. I thought, whoa, that's crazy. Norman Schwarzkopf, the guy was a brilliant man. He said something one time that stuck in my mind. I don't know why, but sometimes I just pick up on things and it just kind of sticks with me. He once said in the early 90s that the future of war will take place in the media. And I thought, what an odd thing to say. Why would he say that? Is it safe to say that when the media is so quick to rush for a headline that they often get their information just a little bit wrong, maybe? It's important, no matter what your views are or what you think you believe right now, that you're able to keep that space between what you think you know and what you think you believe versus what is actually happening in reality. I got in last night and I see a hospital was bombed in Israel. 500 people dead. And all I see is footage of something exploding in the dark and all this specific information running out within 25, 30 minutes of it happening. And I'm thinking, how can somebody get such specific data so quickly after something happens when really it takes time before the facts actually come out? And everything is so driven by emotion and ratings. It's everybody. It's all about clicks. I mean, really, most people get their news from social media anyway, and nobody really watches the mainstream news, so they're going to try to put out a headline to grab your attention and get you to react in the comments section. When you lose your head and you lose that space between what you think you know and what you're being told, well, what do you mean, Lonnie? Would you get to the point already? I'm going to share a video. I know it's 10 minutes long, according to my analytics. No matter how long or short my videos are, the average view duration is under half. So I'll always say that a person who seeks the truth shall find it. And if you could only watch a piece of a video and form an opinion and then leave some uneducated comment in the section below, that's on you, and that's fine. But it appears, based on some recent information in this video coming up, okay, that the hospital itself wasn't hit. It exploded in the parking lot, okay? Now, some interesting facts that come out as this guy, I forget who he is. Anyway, I've seen him commenting on it overnight with the media saying, all these kids, they were killed. Well, you don't know. They don't know what happened. We have to look into it. It seems as though the media had taken some information that Hamas put out there. I mean, they're evil people, okay? And they should just erase that entire region, just carpet bomb them and just get rid of them. There's going to be casualties. That's just war. I mean, you can't move to a bad neighborhood and bitch about it when you get shot or carjacked or robbed or whatever, right? You knew the risk. I don't care what the property value was. I mean, Gaza's been a mess for a long time. And these terrorist organizations, they keep resurfacing every couple of years like the sequel to a bad movie, and they won't go away. And because they use innocents as shields, we're supposed to just go, okay, we're not going to do anything in retaliation. You knew the risk, man. I'm not going to move to Hawaii and bitch about getting hit with a tropical storm every year. If you move to Hawaii, you know it comes with the territory. But it seems as though, according to the information, the way this guy reports it anyway, like I said, I'm keeping that space because we got to wait for the facts to come out. You switch arms. There's a cemetery behind this hospital, and Hamas was firing one of their crude missiles. Now, know that they don't shoot military-grade missiles, okay? They're taking pipes and things out of the ground, and they're making missiles, and often they misfire and blow up on the ground, killing a lot of their own people, including themselves sometimes, okay? But apparently, this explosion that people were showing you that took place in the dark happened in the parking lot. Now, what I thought was interesting was that they said that there was a scorch mark where this bomb blew up. Had it been one of those surface-to-air missiles, something like that, when it comes to the ground, it leaves a crater. Does that make sense? I mean, something coming from a high altitude hitting pavement's going to make a crater. This, however, seemed to be something that misfired from a cemetery behind the hospital, and it came down in the parking lot. And according to this guy, there was no structural damage, or at least not much, to the hospital itself. Now, I'm hearing about 100, maybe 200 people were either injured or killed. I don't know. But to come out with such a specific number and say 500 kids were killed, oh my God, oh my God. Anyway, go ahead and watch the video. This is something I wanted to share because I don't hear a lot of mainstream. Sky News seems okay. I mean, they had this lady in one of these interviews with a guy, and she just seemed like she got emotional and lost her head when she heard, oh, think of the children. Well, you know what? What about the parents who were dumb enough to move to Gaza and say, I'm going to start a family here. The property value is really cheap. Well, why do you think that is? It's terrible when there's a loss of life anywhere, man. But damn it, you can't say you didn't know the risk before you moved there, okay? So go ahead and watch the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below.
We did an immediate review with all relevant branches of the IDF. This is what took place on Tuesday, October 17th. At 6:15 p.m., a barrage of rockets was fired by Hamas to Israel. Then, at 6:59 p.m., a barrage of around 10 rockets was fired by Islamic Jihad from a nearby cemetery. It was at the time that 6:59 p.m. when there were reports of an explosion at the Al-Hali Al-Mahadani hospital in Gaza City. According to our intelligence, Hamas checked the reports, understood it was an Islamic Jihad rocket that had misfired, and decided to launch a global media campaign to hide what really happened. They went as far as inflating the numbers of casualties. They understood with absolute certainty that it was a rocket misfired by Islamic Jihad that damaged the hospital. Analysis of our aerial footage confirms that there was no direct hit to the hospital itself. The only location damage is outside the hospital in the parking lot, where we can see signs of burning, which I will show later, no cratering, and no structural damage to nearby buildings, as opposed to the damage caused by any aerial munition, which would have been of different nature. We would have seen craters and structural damage to the buildings, both of which haven't been identified in this incident. The size of the damage we see here is due to the warhead of the Islamic Jihad rocket, but most of the rocket's propellant is still evident due to the short flight of the rocket because the launch failed. The following visual evidence shows infrared imagery of the parking lot. You can see the central locations of fires, some debris of rooftops, no craters can be identified. I want to show you that myself. This is the area of the hospital, okay? We are showing the parking lot and the hospital, okay? Those are in red spots. This is not in infrared, so you can understand it betterly. This is the parking lot. This is the parking lot. You can see the parking lot also now in this picture shown here, okay? Aftermath, after the hit. There is no structural damage to the building. The walls stayed intact. There are no craters here. All of the above, which I said, no structural damage. The walls stay intact, no craters. These are the characterized that shows that it's not an aerial munition that have hit the parking lot. We also have examples of what air-to-ground munition creator looks like. As you can see, they do not exist in this instance. Many media outlets immediately reported the unverified claims by Hamas. Those were lies spread by Hamas. I want to make something clear. It is impossible to know what happened as quickly as Hamas claimed they knew. That should have been an initial warning sign for many. Unlike Hamas, the IDF launched an immediate examination, which was overseen at the very highest levels of command. This professional review was based on intelligence, operational systems, and aerial footage, all of which we cross-checked. The evidence, which we are sharing with you all, confirms that the explosion of the Ali al-Mahadani hospital in Gaza was caused by an Islamic Jihad rocket that was misfired. Here are the four main parts of the examination process. First, we confirmed that there was no IDF fire by land, sea, or air that hit the hospital. Second, our radar system tracked rockets fired by terrorists from within Gaza at the time of the explosion. I will show you. The trajectory analysis from the barrage of rockets confirms that the rockets were fired close proximity to the hospital. In addition, there are two independent videos which show the failure of the rocket launch and the continuation of rocket flight towards the ground within the Gaza Strip, falling in the hospital compound. Third, we have intelligence, some that will be shared here, of communication between terrorists talking about rockets misfiring, the terrorists realize that the rocket has misfired and made specific reference to the Al-Hali Al-Ma'dani hospital. I would want to let everybody hear the conversation, and I will do the translation in English. I'm telling you, this is the first time that we see missile like this falling, and so that's why we are saying it belongs to the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. What? They are saying it belongs to the PGI. It's from us? It looks like it. Who says this? They are saying the shrapnel from the missile is local shrapnel and not like Israeli shrapnel. What are you saying, Abu Amar? But God bless, it couldn't have been found another place, not the hospital, to explode? Never mind, yes, Abu Raji. They shot it from the cemetery behind the hospital. What? They shot it coming from the cemetery behind Al-Mahadani hospital, and it misfired and fell on them. There's a cemetery behind it? Yes, Al-Mahadani is exactly in the compound. Where is it when you enter the compound? You first enter the compound and don't go towards the city. It's on the right side of Al-Ma'dani Hospital. Yes, I know it. We have cross-checked, intercept with other intelligence sources to confirm this accuracy. It is common for rockets that are fired at Israel to land short and fall inside Gaza. These rockets fall short of Israel and have caused Palestinian casualties. During this war, we have counted approximately 450 rockets that misfired and fell inside Gaza. Palestinian civilians pay the price. I want to show you the footage. These are failed launches during this war, until now. These are all failed launches that fell inside the Gaza Strip, and some of them, of course, created casualties among the Palestinians themselves. And one of them was in the hospital Al-Hali Al-Mahamadani. We are also sharing this information with our partners. First and foremost, the United States. We want the maximum transparency because we take any incident involving civilians very, very seriously. Unfortunately, many in the media immediately reported the statements coming out from Hamas, controlled in Gaza, which blamed Israel. Instead of waiting for the examination of a credible information from the IDF, some media outlets ran with Hamas lies. Some of those headlines are still up, have not been corrected. I understand the desire to break news, but I hope you will all agree the accuracy and credible information comes before speed. The IDF acts in accordance with the international law. In conclusion, this incident shows how allegations, in this case false and baseless allegations made by terrorists against Israel, can spread and flame tension in the region.
You know, you have to understand that that enemy that they're fighting right now, they don't play by the traditional rules of war. They don't care about civilians or civilian structures, but they know you do. That's why they take hostages. There's a death toll over there every day, beheading women and children and elderly. They don't care. It's ebb and flow. It's a little bit today, it's a lot more tomorrow. But the problem is, every time Israel lets up on their missile attacks while they're trying to strategically place one in the least likely area to hurt civilians, these guys are regrouping. They're going to keep coming back until you erase them completely. And it doesn't matter how you feel about it. While you're teaching your kids not to bully in school, they're teaching their kids how to field strip an AK-47 and reassemble it in 60 seconds. They're not like us. A lot of them. I'm sure there's good people. There's good people everywhere. But man, you got 3 days to evacuate and we're going to turn it into a parking lot. People are going to die anyway, man. You got to eliminate this. I fully support turning Gaza into a parking lot. I'd say you got 3 days to evacuate. Anybody still left behind after that? Sorry. I mean, Hezbollah is going to behead you anyway, so let's just get rid of them. Boom, 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 boom. Hell, I say start at both ends and meet in the middle. Make sure that anybody after that can't evacuate. You got to get rid of these people. You got to yank the Band-Aid off and end it now. Otherwise, over time, the death toll is going to be a hell of a lot higher. And those of you that sit back in your comfortable temperature-controlled apartments, voicing your displeasure on social media, watching Netflix, you're so disconnected from reality you don't understand. You know, you just don't understand. So you should just sit there and play your Call of Duty and let the grown-ups handle this. I fully support a full, merciless carpet bombing. It's the only way to end it. So, till the next video, guys. We'll holler at you later.